If there was ever a vehicle that typified the work hard, play hard Australian lifestyle, it's the 4x4 double cab ute. Tough, practical, and pretty cool. These style side pickups have been winning plenty of favour with Australian buyers. But which one's best? So we've gathered 8 of the most popular models together to put through a series of challenges so that we can find out which one is Australia's best ute. Did you know that more than 1 in 10 new cars sold in Australia is a 4x4 ute? In fact, of the 8 cars that we have here, 3 were among Australia's top 10 selling cars in any category last year. But 2015's been a big year for utes. 5 of these models have received significant changes. The other 3 received more equipment, making them even better value. So who's in the running? The Volkswagen Amarok, big, stylish, and the most SUV-like car to drive. Holden's Colorado Z71, highlighting the popularity of the lifestyle ute. The Mitsubishi Triton Exceed, now it's very popular with budget-conscious buyers. The Nissan Navara, all new for 2015, first one here to feature a live 5-link rear axle at the back and has plenty of other tricks up its sleeve. The Isuzu D-Max, it's got a truck engine in it, it's tough and dependable. Mazda's BT-50 received a mild facelift, improving on an already impressive package. The Ford Ranger set a new benchmark for safety equipment to be made available to cars in this class. And of course, the Toyota HiLux, the current king and champion and #1 seller in this category. Will an all-new car be enough to keep it on top of the pile? Let's go and find out. Okay, our first test, and probably the most important for any ute, is payload. So what we're doing is putting a 650 kilogram static load into the back of each of the utes. The cars then head out 2 up on a short road loop, about 10 to 15 kilometres, which takes in a variety of road surfaces, from some pretty ordinary tarmac, gravel, tight corners, even a reasonable hill climb. The cars then come back in where the load is removed, and they go straight back out again for an unladen test, direct back-to-back comparison. The ute payload ratings range from just over 800 kilograms to just under 1100 kilograms. And as part of our test, we're looking at the tie-down points and any loading or unloading difficulties. Now, 7 of the utes we have here today have a leaf-sprung rear end. The only exception is the Nissan Navara, which runs a 5-point coil-sprung live axle. What that does gives it a little bit better compliance and comfort for unladen driving, but when you put a load in the back, it sinks down quite considerably on the suspension. How will that work out for it? Let's find out. Now, while most of our utes came without any covers at all and some pretty handy tricks like the coffee table on the back of the Navara, not everything did. Take the Mitsubishi Triton, for example, which came to us today equipped with a hard tonneau cover. Now, these are pretty good when it comes to security, but they make loading and unloading really difficult indeed. In fact, if you're looking at any of these as a work ute, we highly advise against a hard tonneau cover. Perhaps just save that for the weekend ute. Well, Matty, last one, Isuzu D-Max. How do you think it's been going?
The testing's been going really well. The fact that we've been able to go over the same stretch of road with a load and without a load really tells you a lot about these vehicles, you know? Whether it's going to be easy to live with nothing in the back, and whether it's going to be easy to live with if you're a tradie and you've always got 600 kilos in the back. That's important too.
I agree. It's been pretty scientific. Well, the next most important part of a ute's load capacity is, of course, towing. Now, all of our vehicles have a braked tow rating somewhere between 3 and 3.5 tonne. But for today's test, we've got weights in the back of an unbraked trailer. We're going to run the utes 4 up in what we call the Car Advice Family Holiday Weekend Trip Simulator to see how the utes go with a load out the back. Same roads, same sections, asphalt, gravel, a little bit of off-road. We'll see how they go. We've altered our ballast a bit to make the trailer and load a combined weight of 750 kilograms, the maximum for an unbraked trailer. But why use this when the vehicles can tow over 3 tonne? It's actually a good real-world test as it weighs about the same as some of the more commonly towable items. a small camper trailer, portable generator, even a wave runner all come in about this size. Well, here we are, brand new day. We've dumped the trailer because owning a ute is not all about payload. We've lined all 8 vehicles up together so the guys can pour through them, head to toe, top to tail, and assess the cabins and comfort component of each of the utes. Now that can be as complex as seeing how quickly it is to pair a Bluetooth system, or as simple as counting the cup holders and how big they are. We'll be measuring, testing, checking, sitting. Let's go and take a look. Our 4 judges for the comparison, Matt, Trent, Mike and Kurt, will all be making their own notes and assessments, with all the data being collated and aggregated to score each ute on each criteria. The guys will be looking at safety, comfort and standard equipment, as well as taking measurements and testing functionality of core systems. So with all the interiors and details done, it's time to get back into the cars and get out for hundreds of kilometres of back-to-back testing, both on the road and off it. Well, Matty, we're nearly done. Massive day yesterday out on the road doing 0 to 100, 100 to 0 sound measuring, but we're here off-road. Can you tell us what the guys are doing?
Well, this side we're doing approach and departure angles. So approach is where you start to go up the hill. Departure is where you might touch down at the back, because all these cars have got tow bars. So they will touch down. Yep. But also checking out ground clearance over the hump. So all of them have side steps and they are touching down over the hump, but most are making it over quite comfortably.
Over here, the boys look pretty busy.
Yeah, they're checking out the suspension articulation. We're looking at how much the back will droop to allow you to get over undulating surfaces. So cool. It's kind of important with 4-wheel drives, I guess. Well,
that's right. And I guess, for people using these things, going out bush and even, a little bit of fun or a little bit of work side, it's pretty important that they can actually get to where they need to go.
Definitely.
We grabbed the judges to get a few of their thoughts. Trent talks loads in the Isuzu and Nissan.
Yeah, I think we found that the D-Max was quite impressive, as you said, with the load, which surprised most of us. We probably didn't expect that. And the Nissan, while it struggled with the weight in the tray, which is probably to be expected with the coil-sprung rear end, it was quite impressive up to 60, 70 k's an hour around town.
Mike shares his thinking on the Ford and Kurt on the HiLux.
Well, I think the Ranger really impressed me with the 5-cylinder diesel engine. It certainly seemed to have the most responsiveness and the most punch. It does have a slightly sensitive throttle calibration though, which around town, certainly takes away from the experience somewhat.
I think one interesting aspect is the fact that the Toyota is the newest here, and yet it doesn't appreciably move the game forward for use.
Safety is a key factor for many buyers. Mike explains.
The Amarok is clearly wider and the most roomy, but it also misses out on rear airbags, unlike all the others here. So if you are carrying kids or, you value that kind of safety, it might be a deal breaker for you.
Well, Matty, we're back at the office. It's been a massive few days, but we're finally here with an outcome. So second place, the Volkswagen Amarok.
Exactly. The Amarok may be one of the eldest cars here, but it's still one of the most refined. It's got a fantastic drivetrain.
Big tray.
Big tray, lots of interior refinement as well, great driving position, and the biggest back seat of all these vehicles, but that back seat is let down by the fact that there are no rear airbags.
So that's important.
That cost it top spot in this test.
Yeah, right. Well, that means top spot goes to the Ford Ranger.
Yeah, the Ranger, it's a big improvement on the model it replaces. A lot more tech, a lot more refinement, a lot more comfort, still a big tray, good towing. It's sort of the all-rounder that everyone wants.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. For 2015, Australia's best 4x4 dual cab ute is the Ford Ranger. Now you can read the full comparison plus individual reviews of all 8 utes on caradvice.com.au.